My family recently had a new experience that taught me something about salvation. Let's talk about that. So, our 7-year-old boy, Zeke, has started wrestling, which is totally new for us. There's been no wrestling background in our family whatsoever. And when he came home from school one day and said, "Dad, can I join Fight Club?" I said, "Son, we don't talk about that." And then that was a joke. If you didn't catch that joke, that's probably better for you. Yeah. But I said, "Well, what do you mean? Do you mean wrestling club?" And he said, "Yes, wrestling club." And so we went to check it out. And sure enough, we decided it was something that would be good to try. He was excited about it. We were very excited about what the coaches were building there. And I have to tell you, it's been awesome. And I'm totally in. I'm like totally captivated by this whole sport, the whole culture of it. But one of the big moments was he had been practicing, and he wrestled in his first tournament not too long ago. And I have to say, there's something, I'm a basketball player, baseball player, golfer. I've done a bunch of different sports, and so has Kate and our kids. And most of the stuff we've done has been a team sport. And there's always winning and losing in a team sport. But there's something very unique about wrestling or some of these kind of combat sports, if you will, where you walk out onto the mat and it's you and one other person. And it's one of the two of you is going to have their hand raised in victory, and the other person is going to have not not that experience. And there's so many things I could talk about, but I just love the culture of wrestling so far as what I've experienced, because you shake hands before every match, you go at it. One person wins, one person loses. Regardless, you shake hands. You shake hands with the ref. You shake hands with the other coach, and you move on. And in Zeke's first tournament, he won his first match, which was very exciting, and taught him about a lesson of life wrestling till the end, because he was down by points and figured it out at the end and was able to come from behind victory. And then his second match, he wrestled a little boy who had a move that Zeke had not learned how to defend yet, and the little boy pinned him and kind of beat him up a little bit. And so Zeke comes off the mat, and I'm watching this, I'm observing this, and he had just lost, and he's coming off the mat, and it was painful because of how the kind of the headlock that he got placed in. And he walks over to his coach, and I have to say, as a father, this was just like one of the most validating and wonderful moments watching this happen with your son. Is the coach kind of grabbed him by the shoulders, holding him by the shoulder, and eyeball to eyeball was I didn't know what they were saying, but you could tell it was a deep, intense conversation about what had just happened. Then he starts showing him how to get out of that move that the guy had done against him. And but then he grabbed him again, and they kind of just like forehead to forehead, and there was just like a moment of connection of like, it's okay, you had this loss, now what are you going to do with it? Are you going to get up? Are you going to battle again? Or are you going to quit? And he came around the corner, and there were some tears that had streamed out. There's a tremendous amount of crying in little kid wrestling. I was not prepared for this. Every match, somebody's crying. It's kind of amazing and hilarious and heartbreaking. But see, so tears were rolling down his cheeks, and because it had hurt. But I said, "All right, buddy, like, you ready to keep going?" And he said, "Yes." And he went on and he wrestled the next two matches and ended up taking second in this division that he was in. And as I was reflecting on that, and now having watched him in another tournament, one of the things that I'm so blessed by is the fact that in these tournaments, the adults allow the kids to win or lose, and both are learning moments. If you win, there's something to learn from that, and if you lose, there's something to learn from that. And what I've just been so captivated by is the drama of, especially when you lose in wrestling, very often it's uncomfortable, it's painful. You've been pinned, you've been kind of physically manhandled. So there's a physical distress that you're in, but then there's an emotional distress of, I wanted to win and I didn't win. And in a culture that is so unwilling to let kids lose, unwilling to let kids kind of appropriately suffer or have to go through hardship, it's been this incredible breath of fresh air to watch these wrestling matches where it's like, yeah, it's unapologetic. It's like you either got more points or the other kid did, or they pinned you or you didn't. And at the end, the ref holds up your hand or doesn't. And there's so many lessons in this, and there's so many wonderful things. And the main point I just want to get across in this video, it's not like a deeply spiritual point, is that if you're a parent You need to find places where your kids both can win and lose. You need to put them in environments where they can experience the joy of winning and the hardship of losing. Because life is like that, isn't there? There are ups and downs. There's all around. In the spiritual life, there are going to be times when we cooperate with grace and we're flying and we're growing in holiness and we're doing what the Lord wants us to do. And then there are going to be times where we fall and we don't do what the Lord's asking us to do and we sin. And in the question, when those times of sin, when we get pinned by our own actions or the actions of others, do we get up off the mat? Do we repent? Do we learn from it? And do we persevere or do we quit? It's so easy to quit, isn't it? It's so easy to give up. It's so easy to justify. It's so easy to cut a corner. It's so easy to say, well, that didn't really go the way I wanted it, or I thought it was going to be this way and it wasn't, or, I've been doing this particular sin for a long time and it's never really going to get better, or I'm not as bad as that person over there. That sin isn't, look, my sin's not as bad as their sin. And you can do all this justification. And in wrestling, there's none of that. It's either you just get better or you don't. You either persevere or you don't. You get back on the mat and you do another rep or you don't. There's a grind to wrestling that I think translates really wonderfully to the wonderful grind of life. And so my encouragement to you is, if you're an adult watching this, which based on metrics, most of you are old adults and we love you very much. But if you're an adult watching this, don't be afraid of creating environments for your children where they can win or they can lose. Don't be afraid of failure. We're not pursuing failure. We're not desiring failure, but we're not afraid of failure. Because ultimately, as we look at the spiritual life and we look at what it means to be a disciple of Jesus, is to just keep giving ourselves to Him, to just keep turning to Him, to just keep, every time we stumble, we turn back to our good Father who raises us up, who encourages us, who teaches us, who forehead to forehead gives us instruction for how to do better the next time. So be like Zeke. Stay in the game. Stay in the mat. When you get pinned, get back up. And if you're leading anyone, create environments where they can win or they can lose, so that you can teach them the joy of winning, but you can also teach them the power of learning from failure. God bless you.